I would like to discuss the subject of autopsies in regards to the Sandy Hook school shooting victims. Before I get into the details of the autopsies, it's important for us to gain a better understanding of how the information is handled within the official report. Let's begin with the report of the state attorneys for the Judicial District of Danbury on the shootings at Sandy Hook Elementary School and 36 Yogananda Street, Newtown, Connecticut on December 14, 2012. This report can be found in the official release under Book 1, document number 0026344. In this document, we can see in the table of contents the following sections. Sandy Hook Elementary School, Autopsy Information, page 23. 36 Yogananda Street, Newtown, Connecticut, Autopsy Information, page 27. Shooter, Autopsy Information, page 27. Based on the table of contents, it's fair to conclude that the autopsies have been separately handled between the shooting victims, Nancy Lanza, mother of Adam Lanza, and the shooter, Adam Lanza. On page 23, under the section titled Sandy Hook Elementary School Autopsy Information, the report reads as follows. On Saturday, December 15, 2012, all of the victims were transported to the OCME in Farmington for autopsies. Autopsies were performed the same day. The cause of death for all of the victims was determined to have been gunshot wounds. The manner of death was determined to have been homicide. Now let's take a closer look at the reports on the autopsies themselves. These reports can be found in Book 9, document number 002747772. As you can see, these reports are highly redacted, but we are still able to get the basic information we need just by using what is available to us. On the very first page, we have an investigative report that reads the following. Action taken. On 12/11/13, I received the autopsy records for the 26 victims of the Sandy Hook school shooting from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. On the next page, we see a summary of the autopsy reports, in which most of the names are redacted. The names on this page are redacted for the following reasons. 01. Identity of minor witnesses. 02. Names/addresses of students enrolled in public school. 12. Right to privacy. U.S. Constitution Amendment 14 and or victim rights. Connecticut Constitution, Article 1, Section 8b. When we turn to the next page, we see more names redacted for the same reasons. Then below those names, we see a list of the adult victims involved at Sandy Hook. I'm going through this in detail because I want to establish the fact that this specific report that is on the screen right now is for the autopsies of the Sandy Hook school shooting victims only. The shooter, Adam Lanza, is not included in this list. We know that because he is not a minor, is not enrolled at a public school, and is not subject to the right of privacy laws. The mother, Nancy Lanza, is not in this list either. We know this because every redacted name carries redaction codes 01 and 02, and these cannot apply to her. On top of these points, we have already established that the autopsies for the mother as well as the shooter are filed separately from the victims at the school. I want to make sure that we fully understand what we are looking at here. We are looking at an official report that clearly states that all 26 victims received an autopsy. Now that we have established that, let's look at the recently released death certificate of Noah Partner. On the death certificate, in box number 39, the question is asked, was an autopsy performed? The answer selected is no. Here lies a problem with the validity of this death certificate or the investigative report itself. So far, we have seen that according to the report, statements are made under penalty of perjury that all 26 victims received autopsies. It is the general understanding that the mother of Noah Partner requested that her son not be autopsied. There is no indication that this request was granted in any way. The decision to perform an autopsy on a homicide victim lies with the chief medical examiner according to Connecticut state law, not the parents. On top of that, many might say that a medical examination was performed, but they did not physically cut open the body in respect for the parents' wishes. Regardless of if they did or didn't, an autopsy is not a word that is used to describe the physical dissection of a deceased individual. It's a word to describe the action of performing a post-mortem medical examination. Here is the definition of an autopsy as stated by the State of Connecticut Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. An autopsy is a medical examination of a dead person's body. It is performed by a physician specifically trained in such procedures. Even if Dr. Wayne Carver granted the request of not cutting open the body of Noah Posner, it does not change the fact that an autopsy was performed.